Live streaming is on.
Alberto,
Where are we? Where are we? Where are we?
I vote 70.
okay, so I think we have agreement on the double team. So Mamun can vote when he gets here, and I'm gonna do policy tracking. Now, what is a double team? Like 15 minutes, right?
10 to 15. Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're ready to discuss budget.
Yeah, I'm here.
Brotherly discussion, you said?
What?
Teammate, double team. Team.
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into it. So I'm definitely concerned about the budget. The $3,795 is almost $4,000 a month. I mean, that is a huge increase that I think deserves a discussion, and we haven't had a discussion on the budget really at all in this case, right? Ideally, it would be a main session, but whatever. We have a double team. So I'm trying to break this down and kind of understand what we're looking at in these different categories, and I'm basically creating.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I'm kind of like putting it into three categories here. We have basically old world, and then we've got new world, and then we have the kind of in between overlap, which I think is important. And then we have obviously the local SF team. So let's start with old world. So the first question is this K like in the okay? I mean, before I go to that, I like the idea of this idea of kind of like to overlap America's old team of people from old world who really work with America's team in new world. Because I feel like Joyce, for example, you work a lot with me and Alberto, whereas someone like Mamun is really old world, right? Mamun's old world, he is not really that interactive with new world. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for me, I think there's a category of money that it's like, paying old world people who are up pretty late at night who work with the Americans, right? So you get what I'm saying, Alberto?
Yes.
So I don't know what to call that exactly, but we'll call it like the overlap team or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I would include Joyce in that. So I don't know about Tay. Tay does a pretty good job overlapping. Obviously, she's on maternity leave and stuff. So should we include Tay? What about Eileen? Eileen isn't really doing anything at this time. I don't know.
I mean, Ate, she's been super active lately. That's why we put her 50% into the non-profit.
Okay. So I would say you have Joyce and Eileen. No, Joyce and Tay, and
Yes.
not Eileen. Because Eileen has not been particularly active.
No.
Okay.
She's on leave though, right? When is the leave finishes?
I think she was supposed to come today.
I don't know. She's online.
Also, is Kelly in Italy? I can't remember if Kelly's in Italy or not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Kelly's
Right.
in
So
Florida.
Joyce and Tay works out to Joyce is 315 and Tay is 251.
Time for breath. Please Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
All right. So then we have Mamun and Moth and Eileen. So let's take a look at Mamun and Moth and Eileen. Eileen's 180, 160, 145. 180 plus 160 plus 145. So I get 581. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this adds up to the correct 3,797. So we're still off by like, oh yeah, well those are all the extra stuff. Okay? So the $1,600 increase in money is $10,000 every 6 months. I mean, this is a lot of money we're talking about. So I think we need to be clear what we're doing to make sure we're in the same ballpark. So the main thing I think is important to note here is like you need to understand full pay rate versus right for each person. Let's ask Mamun as well. Can someone just double check with Mamun on his pay rate?
I put all the pay rates here. Down again. Here, I'm gonna put them down here. Mamun is 160.
That's Mamun here now, right?
Mamun is yeah, it's here in the session. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, Jay.
Yeah, so go back to like the end of last year. Like, what would be the amount of money that you would expect to get paid for just like your minimal rate versus getting cuts, right, for the budget?
I mean, last year.
Before there were cuts, how much was your?
Yeah, 250. Yeah, 250.
250.
Okay, so Math is saying that you should be getting paid $250 per month. So Mamun, you're saying you should be getting paid $250 per month.
No.
Mamun was 160 from the
Mamun
baseline.
is 160 or was 160?
He was 160.
Okay, so Mamun, you're getting your full pay. Is that correct?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes.
Yeah. Right now, I changed my.
Open your eyes.
Still the same.
Yeah,
Still the same. 160. No change.
Yeah, 160. Yeah. It's been
No
a
change
long time.
since the baseline. Yeah.
Okay.
Last 1 year maybe, or 8-9 months.
Cool.
Ate, no changes. Right, so Ate is the rate after cap. Right. And J minimal rate was.
I mean, we need to talk about what my minimum rate is because my situation's always complicated.
I don't understand what you mean by minimum rate.
Like, what is the minimal fair rate that someone actually wants to get paid, right, before cut? Right? Does that make sense? Like, before the cut.
Okay.
So in your case, you're getting half of what your minimal rate is that you would really want to get. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because obviously, if we're paying you a fair rate or paying you a jurisdictional rate, it would be more probably than even that in relationship to the family jurisdiction and everything like that. But in the context of just like getting a minimal rate of getting paid something that you feel like what you should get, you're getting half of what you used to get. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
And then for Moth, I believe there's no change with Moth as well. It's the same, 100%.
Let me check. Baseline moth. One wasn't even in the baseline. In fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe there's no change.
We might have asked them to take cuts, though. I don't know. We might have to double check with them just to find out.
No, I actually asked him to increase because I mean I don't feel comfortable. We're paying most below minimum wage. He's always getting some. No, this month he didn't. No, but he's getting paid $2.60. So it's very very low.
Okay. So, anyways, let's go over me for a bit, okay? Because mine is obviously the most complicated. So, my current budget that's being proposed is $825. $825, right?
Yeah.
Time
So,
to
the minimal
stretch.
rate.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
All right, quick step. So, I mean, I feel like the minimal rate should be higher than 1,000, but I guess we could make it 1,000 just because that's where Mel is. We could also talk to Mel. Like, is it really realistic that me and Mel are at $1,000? But I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, so let's see what.
It's not real. It's not real.
Say what?
Obviously, these are all, in my point of view, these are all, let's say, startup rates.
Well, they're less than startup rates even because this is all money this is less than I was getting paid even before, right? I mean, we're taking major cuts in order to hire people and do whatever we can, of course.
Yeah, but I think that everybody is a lot more aligned with everything, given the bonus token payroll moving forward, the work moving forward. Everybody's feeling the momentum. So
Who is everybody? Everybody who's getting 100% of their pay rate?
the team. Yeah. But Moth, which to me Moth, I mean, I told him Moth, I mean, paying you to $2.6 less than Mamun, right? So me it's like difficult to. I told him, I mean. But all the rest, I think, I mean, the team is aligned to.
Okay, so anyways, the entire team, which is basically, let's call it the old world team, which includes Eileen, Moth, Mamun, and Joyce, is $1,000 total. Are we on the same page on that? $1,000 total. So this would be if the total budget is $3,500, right? $1,000 would be less than a third. It would be 28% of the total budget, right? So 28% of the total budget is getting.
To pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So 20% of the budget is getting their full amount of pay. So for me, the problem is really in the Americas team, in the local team, where we're talking about the vast majority of the budget. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first thing is like I don't think it makes sense for Alberto to be getting paid so much less in terms of the 50% when we're trying to increase everybody's pay. It doesn't necessarily that doesn't seem like it makes sense. In fact, I feel like for our baseline, when we're trying to calculate our baseline, that this should be more realistic to our baseline, which is like the $4,000. might be our baseline, right? In terms of like paying Alberto the actual correct amount that he needs as opposed to only 50%. Does
Mhm.
that make sense? So in this case, the
Ma-
baseline would be $4,000.
Mhm.
Look, Jay, I'm perfectly fine because I mean I wasn't fine with the 268, but I mean when I started with 894, I was in a different situation. Also, FQN was in a different situation, and I mean the way that I look at it, I'm not getting paid 447. I mean, to me, my goal with the upfront pay is to pay my rent. Right? So my rent is with the how do you say the cost of the condominium of the um, it's 2000 plus with the bills, water and electricity 800. The swimming pool is another 300. So in total, right? This is what I wanted to get covered by FQN, which is divide this by 4.8. It's 600 and 600. Oh my God, what a bad number. Right, let me change that. Oh my God, I'm scared. Okay, let's bring it to
667,
250.
667.
I don't
Give it
spend 300. It's 250.
$700.
Yeah, this is better.
Six.
700.
God. All right.
1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
Yeah, I was making a mistake because it's 200 for the guy who cleans it and 550 for the product. So it's
I
600,
do 750 myself, but
no, 650 dollars, right? Which is I'm totally fine because I get 447 if we put back the bonus, the overtime. I should get at least another 100 there, right? So it's this plus this, but then I'm counting the water to go down because I had some problem with the swimming pool that I fixed. Was leaking water, so I get actually $447, which is 4.8, which is I mean, to me, it's perfect because I mean, I'm paying the rent, and then to me, I'm not getting paid 447, but to me, I'm getting paid. Uh, uh, where is that? Wait, let me check that. It's Alberto here plus here 1,050 dollars of value of T2ML. To me, that's way more important because I'm in a better situation now. And like for the 70
but
for each,
the business in terms of the value and the relationship of the business is that the business would rather pay upfront money and make sure that we are saving our T2ML. That's obviously the business would prefer to make sure we're paying upfront money and only issuing value for people who don't take their upfront money. That is obviously the best thing for the business.
Mm.
Because the T2ML, in essence, for the business becomes a liability as well. But in the point of like just getting a minimal rate here, if your minimal rate is $700, it's fine. I feel like 650 is like a little tiny bit too low. So 700 seems like a reasonable number, which gets you at 64%.
yeah, but I mean, we are the business, right? So this 1,050 to ml, which now I'm starting to
But
understand.
we're not the business. The business is all the future workers, all the past workers, everybody, in the Legion. It's much broader than us. Right? But the
But
point is that it's like whether you're talking about $650, $700, it's the same thing. It's not a big deal. The point is that
Stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
the point is that we could easily pay you a little bit more money. Does that make sense?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I mean, to me it's fine. I mean, to me is this is good for
Okay.
for the time being.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of me and Mel, though, I feel like we still have a slight problem here. So if we add, so the old world is 1,000, and then we add Alberto, we have basically 1,500. So old world plus Alberto, 1,500, right? So that means kind of like our base with just Alberto and old world, we have 1,500. So then we're talking about basically just adding me and Mel. And so going from 1,500 to 3,500 is just too much. So for me, I in my mind, the way that I thought about it is that okay, I could pay myself $1,000 per month, right? But then it's like, okay, so if we're gonna bring Mel on board, then we each get $500 per month each, which is gonna be $1,000, right? And then if we also have Stacy, so if we're cutting Stacy, you could argue, okay, maybe it's $1,500 a month for basically the what we're calling the SF local team, right? So if we have the SF local team at $1,500 a month, is still a lot. I mean, that still doubles the entire budget, which makes sense in that context. But that gets us to $750 each, right? So getting into the 1,825 amount, it seems a little bit high and concerning, and it makes me want to cut my pay rate, right? And if we also look long term, we're talking about what was it, 928 or 929. So, I mean, for me, it makes me want to significantly cut my pay rate, but I don't know how to cut my pay rate too much more. But I was thinking that, if we try to shift as much to the nonprofit and we try to cut my pay rate as much as possible, then maybe I could figure out how to pay myself from the for-profit more from my business. But I think overall, it's like
Time
we're
to take
looking,
a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
we're looking at some sort of max amount of money for the SF local team. Like it can't just be like unlimited open money for the SF local team. Like there has to be a cap, and that cap either needs to be like $1,000 or $1,500. I mean, I don't understand how it could be for $2,000. I mean, it just seems way too much. That makes sense. Anyways, take a break and we
But
talk about.
not not really.
Okay. So take a break.
Take a break and then continue.